Hey guys, so here's part 2 of the bindi videos, and in this one I'm going to show you how to actually apply the bindi, because there's a couple tricks you can use to get it in where you want it. So, first step is get your hair out of the way. It's pretty cool, right? Second step is put whatever kind of adhesive on the back of your bindi that you like. I'm going to use this little bitty guy and some spirit gum. So what I do is I take the bindi and I put it up to my forehead where I think I want it, and I'm going to be looking in my mirror here. So once I've got it where I think it's supposed to go, I will take my other hand and push the bindi on so that it's stable where I stuck it, and then I go in and check it and make sure that everything is right where I want it, make sure that it's centered, and with whatever kind of adhesive you use, you have a little bit of play time. The liquid latex gives you a little bit more time to adjust the placement of it than the spirit gum does, but you still got a little bit of time where you can kind of wiggle it around. So, and ta-da. This actually is slightly off where I would normally put it, but it's so small, it's like impossible for me to lean way in and see it on my camera. So that's what I usually do. If I have one that I'm really having a hard time with figuring out where I want it, I'll take a white eyeliner pencil, and I use white because it's easier on my skin tone to camouflage it if I need to, or to wipe it off. If you've got a darker skin tone, then you maybe want to use a different color. And then I take the bindi and I hold it where I want it to go and get it all lined up, and then, and I know this is crooked, and then I will take the eyeliner pencil and mark on the bottom and on the top, just a little dot either place, where it needs to go. So then I can take the bindi off, put the adhesive on it, and when I stick it up there, I just find those 2 points and line it up with those and then put it on there. Now, regardless of the type of adhesive you use, when you put the bindi on your head, you want to press it for a couple of seconds and make sure it's really taken. And this one is really on there. Things like the amount of oil you have on your forehead and that kind of stuff is going to affect how well the bindi sticks to you. So if you find you really have a hard time, even with the spirit gum, getting a bindi to stay on, try taking a Q-tip with a little tiny bit of like a toner or witch hazel or even rubbing alcohol, but be careful not to get it in your eyes, and just clean the area where you're going to put the bindi first. Sometimes people have problems because they've got a lot of makeup on and the adhesive wants to just stick to the makeup and then peel off rather than it actually sticking to your skin. So those are my little tricks for actually applying the bindi. A side note that Amy actually mentioned in her video is if you're trying to be accurate about where a bindi is placed, it should be down between your eyebrows, like even lower than I have mine. Not up on the top of your forehead, because that is where you would wear a tika, which is a piece of jewelry, basically. So the next little trick I have is I really like the look of enormous bindi, right? But number one, I have a very creasy forehead, and I worry that it wouldn't stay on if I did wear a very tall, like stretched out this way bindi. And secondly, I just don't have any, and I don't have any money to buy any yet. So what I do instead is, since I make my own bindi, this is easy. If you have to buy them, it's still doable. I get 2 very similarly colored bindi. Like this one, I don't know if you can see, is silver with 2 shades of pink. This one is also silver with 2 shades of pink. And I'll put the first one on, usually a little bit lower than this one has, but this will still work. And then I take the second one and put it right on top with a little tiny bit of room between the 2 to allow my forehead to crinkle right there. And this is still a little bit crooked because I'm trying to do it fast, but now it looks like I have an enormous bindi on, but it's actually 2 different bindi. So that works out really good, especially if you have those little cheap ones and you can stick like 5 of them in a row up your forehead. It can really make up for the lack of, you know, bling on the little cheap stick-on ones. So that's that. As far as getting the adhesives off you and off your bindi, with liquid latex, you peel it off I can usually just rub it off of the back of my bindi and off of my forehead. Because it's latex, it'll just kind of ball up, okay? If that doesn't work, you can swipe the back of your bindi with either some kind of oil or with rubbing alcohol. Either way, you want to be kind of careful to just keep it on the back of the bindi because it can eat through the glues that are holding the bindi together, and then you lose your stones, and then it's not a bindi anymore, it's a pile of stuff on your counter. As far as spirit gum goes, spirit gum is hard to take off. There's a reason that it stays so well. So you can buy spirit gum remover, which I was way too cheap to do. So what I do is when I go to take my bindi off, and you guys can see this is still, I'm going to clip my hair out of there. This is on there pretty good because it's brand new, so it really doesn't come off real super easily, and I probably have a mark there. I know I'm going to have residue here. So what I do is I take a cotton ball or a cotton swab with olive oil and I just rub my forehead, and most of it comes off. Sometimes I still have to pick little bits of it off. That also works for taking the glue off of the back of your bindi, which is really important because every time you peel a bindi off your skin, little bits of your skin is on the back of the bindi. And do you really want to keep adding, making a glue skin sandwich forever and sticking it on your head? Not really, no. So clean your bindi. That's important. If you find you're really having a hard time getting the adhesive, the spirit gum off of your skin and off of your bindi, just buy the remover. It's about the same cost as the spirit gum to begin with, so it's worth it if you're really having an issue. So those are my little tricks for how I put on a bindi. I'm actually going to do yet another video on some bindi alternatives because I have found I am far too talkative to make a multifunctional video, apparently, because right now my clock says I am at almost 8 minutes. It might be shorter by the time I edit it, but yeah, so hopefully this was helpful, and check out yet the third bindi video if you don't have any bindi and would like the look of a bindi without a bindi. I know, exciting, right? Okay. See you guys later. Bye.